Sony Music bought 50% of Michael Jackson Publishing and Masters for 600 millions. Listen, I don't know why people are always angry. I mean, I know why. People are always angry when an artist sell their catalog to big corporations because they have some emotional tie to the music, which I understand. But listen, the music doesn't disappear. When you sell your catalog, they don't change the name on the music. It's just the owner changes. Oh, listen, I have part of my catalog, not my masters, but everything I did between 1998 and 2005, when I was signed to Sony Music Publishing, all my intellectual rights, so my publishing rights, belonged to Sony. So it doesn't mean I don't make money from it. It means that every time that, for example, my track, let's say a track that I produced and composed and I own 100% of the right. For example, Telephone. For example, Telephone came out in 1998. And at that time, I was signed in Sony as an artist and also in publishing. So I own the masters. I own the writing and the composition. Sony owns the publishing for the writing and the composition. So it means that every time the song plays on the radio, let's say it plays a number of times in the radio, generates 100 euros, 50 euros go to me, 50 euros go to Sony Music, right? So if tomorrow Sony Music decides that they want to sell all their Kaysha catalog to BMG, to Warner Chappell, to Universal, or to me, they can do whatever they want with their share. There's nothing I can do. And it's not going to change nothing for me. Now, the rest of my catalog from 2005 till today, I own almost everything. And I own a lot of songs as well from a lot of artists that you know. It can be writing, it can be publishing, it can be composition, it can be anything. And all these catalog that I own generates money every month. And maybe somebody can tell me, hey, listen, Kaysha, you generate X every year. I'm willing to buy your catalog, your publishing catalog, for 5 million. Maybe you will make these 5 millions in 20 years if you multiply what you make every month by 12 times 30, for example. You're going to make them in 30 years when you're going to be 80. But me, I'm telling you, hey, I'm giving you 5 million now. Well, you have to make your calculation in your head. And you have to decide in your head, okay, how much money do I make every month? How much money do I make every year? And how much time will it take for me to reach the amount of money that these people are proposing to me now? And sometimes it's not worth it. And other times it's worth it. So in the case of the proposals that I had proposals to buy my whole catalog for 300,000. And I said, of course, no, because I can make this money by myself. So I'm not interested. I had a proposal for up to 1 million. That's the last proposal I had. Somebody wanted to not buy my catalog, but give me 1 million to take control of my catalog for a certain amount of time. and it was more in advance to get control of the catalog. And then, but I know the business way too much, and I was like, $1 million, I'm not interested, because I can make this money by myself. Now, if somebody tells me 6, 7, 10 millions, listen, that's when you have to start thinking, okay, how much time do I need to make 10 millions? If you can make $1 million every year, you're gonna make 10 million in 10 years. Maybe it's not worth selling. But let's say you make, let's say you have a good independent catalog and you make 100,000 every year. So to make 1 million, you need 10 years. To make 10 millions, you need a lot of years. To make 10 million, you need 100 years, right? So if somebody tell you, hey, I'm giving you 10 million or 5 million now to buy your catalog, it kind of makes sense to think about it. You might be like, I'm selling, because you can do something with your 10 millions that you cannot do with the 100K you make every year. And then it depends. You might want your catalog to stay in your family forever, but you might take 10 millions, invest 5 million in real estate or in land and other things, farms and whatever, companies. And then you, instead of giving music that you don't know the value that your music is going to have in 30 years, because not all of us are going to be Bob Marley, right? So if you don't know the value that your music is going to have in 30 years, you might want to say, well, yeah, I'm selling, and I'm letting you build your mega catalog of everything you're buying, and me, I'm going to take my 5 million or my 10 million and I'm going to do something else with it and invest in something else. So now, in the case of Michael Jackson, the proposal was not 10 million. It was not 50 million. It was 600 millions. 600 millions, not for the whole catalog of Michael Jackson, for 50% of it. And a lot of the fans are angry because Michael Jackson was fighting with Sony and etc., etc. But listen, the man is dead. Now it's his estate that are taking decisions, and they are taking business decisions. As a business decision, I believe Michael Jackson catalog generates every year between 50 and 75 million dollars every year. That's a lot of money. So it means that if you want to make 600 million in 10 years, you have them, right? Now, I don't know how many people benefit from his estate. Is it just the kids, the mother? Is it some business people around him? Is it the whole family, the whole Jackson family? I don't know exactly who are the beneficiary of the Michael Jackson estate. But when you think about it, if you have a catalog that is generating, let's say 70 million every year from the music that is being played on radio, movies, musicals, etc., etc. So if you have a catalog that is generating 75 million a year, and I don't know, maybe the whole empire, the Michael Jackson empire, maybe you have to spend 10, 20 million every year on, I don't know, a lot of things, who knows? The houses, the properties, whatever, running the catalog, who knows? And somebody tells you, listen, I want to buy 50% of the catalog, meaning that you're still going to have 50%. So if you make 70 million every year, you're still going to make 35 million every year, right? With these 35 million, I don't know if it's feeding the whole family or if everybody has their businesses, I don't know. But if you make 35 million every year, and on top of that, you have 600 million, and now the other part of your catalog is worth a billion now, right? Because this made the whole if somebody buys a part of your catalog for 600 million, it means that the other part now is worth 600 million minimum. So the whole catalog is now worth 1.2 billion, which is huge, right? So if you see it more as a business, like stock option, like Wall Street, this is actually an interesting operation. The question is, what do you need to do with 600 million that you cannot do with 75 million every year? This is just the question. Or do you think, because personally, the way I would see it, me, as a business person, I would be like, okay, listen, I'm generating 70 million every year. I'm not going to generate 35 million, but I'm going to have a fresh money of 600 million that I can use to diversify. Listen, you can diversify in stock. You can buy some companies. You can invest in some companies. You can invest in real estate. You can also invest in catalogs. You can buy small catalogs. Listen, personally, okay, let me take it to my level. If somebody gives me 10 million to buy all my sushi raw empire, masters, 50% of my empire, masters, publishing, YouTube channel, everything, my show, like, okay. Let's say they want that, they give me 10 million and I still get to make 50% of what I make. So listen, I still pay my rent easy with my 50% that I have. But I got 10 million. I take $1 million to buy myself a house in Lisbon, in my neighborhood, right? I have 9 million. I put 4 on the side. Invest them in stock that will generate money, right? To generate something like 200K every year. Now I take 4 million. And you know what I do with my 4 million? I go and I buy every Kizomba song, every Zouk song, and every Kompa song. I buy everything. I buy Rumba song. I buy Congolese music. I buy everything African catalog and West Indies and I buy everything. I buy a bunch of small catalogs. Listen, I find anybody that has some songs that they're streaming a little bit, but they don't know what they're gonna do with it. Like, it only generates 200 every year. All right, listen, I'm buying it for 5,000. And I create a huge catalog of songs, and maybe this one generates 200, this one generates 1,000, this one generates, but the total of everything I will own maybe will generate 50,000 every month because of me buying everything. Listen, I go see my old partner, Section Zouk. I buy his catalog. I buy everything. And once you have this, you have now the power as money generating assets. You now have the power to go see any company and say, look, I have this company that is generating 50,000 every year. So you go see some banks, they're gonna evaluate your company, and now you can put it as a public company and do some stock and put it in the Nasdaq in Wall Street, and you can sell some shares of this company because it's generating 50,000 every month. And you say, listen, I want to buy more companies. I want to buy more catalog so that next year I can generate 75,000 every month. I'm going to buy more catalog from Nigeria, from Cameroon, from Congo, from Niger, from here and there. I'm going to create a huge African catalog. So these banks and will say, okay, put 10% of your shares on Wall Street, and now let's say you sell those 10% shares for 1 million. So now you have a lot of banks and private people and public people that own 10% of your new company. You still own 90%. And now whenever every time you make 50,000, you have to give them 5,000 and divide into all the people who own that content, those shares. But because all these people, they bought shares of your company, now your company has a value. Let's say now your company is valuated at, I don't know, maybe they bought for the 1 million shares, they bought them for 10 million. So it means that the rest of your 90% shares is now worth 90 million, right? That's the value of your catalog is now 100 million. So what you do now, you go see a bank and you tell them, here's 10% of my company. You keep it, but I'm not selling it to you. You just keep it. And in exchange, you give me 10 million. You take the 10 million. With these 10 million, you go buy even more catalog. Once you bought all your catalog, let's say now you generate 100K every year, every month. It means you make $1 million every year. If you make $1 million every year, the bank will give you anything you need, first of all. But now some people might want to buy your company for even more. And now your shares is worth more. Now your company is worth 400 million, whatever. And that's how you get in a different state of the money game. The problem is most people, they believe you make money by doing shows. Most artists, they only believe that you make money in this game of art by making shows. Listen, shows is where you make the easy money. Shows, I'm looking for my AC, I'm hot again. Shows is where the easy money is made. You're here, you're gonna make, yeah, listen, every time you go to a show, they give you some cash, oh, you're happy. That's not where the real money is. The real money is on owning your shit. When you own stuff, that's where you make a different kind of money, because you make money without having to do shows. Like me. People, they all believe that because they don't see me in the clubs and they don't see me on TV, they all believe that, oh my God, poor guy. Listen, I make probably 10 times, if not 20 times the money I used to make when I was making a show every week, because I own my whole catalog. Now, if you want to go to the next level of that, you can now turn your catalog into the same way as you would buy some Facebook stock options or some crypto. You can turn your catalog into that. Now, if somebody comes and tells you, hey, listen, I want to buy a part of your catalog, personally, that's not what I would do. Now, when it comes to the Jackson Estates, I don't know why they prefer taking 600 million other than making 70 million every year. Listen, maybe the kids want money. Maybe his 3 kids, maybe they're like, yeah, listen, 600 million. Maybe the mom, the brothers, the sisters, and they say, listen, wait a minute, how much we get if we sell? Oh, everybody get 50 million. 50 million, everybody. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of dreams, or a lot of things that I could do. I want to do a restaurant. You might want to venture and do something else. So, yeah, listen, me personally, that's how I see it. Other people might think it's a mistake. I believe it's just business as usual. You know, when Elon Musk wanted to buy Twitter, he sold some Tesla shares, or he put them as collateral, because he needed 40 billions to buy Twitter. So it's just the next level of money, if I can say. So yeah, what do you think?